Hello people, welcome to Makeup on Point. I'm Christy. I hope you're having a glorious day in this chaotic world that we are living in still. In today's video, we are actually going to be discussing the movie Center Stage. Now, Center Stage is a dance movie that came out in 2000, and this year is actually the 20th anniversary of the movie. Center Stage is a beautiful ballet movie. It has its little quirks in there. I'm going to be discussing some facts. I'm going to talk about a back history of my own dance life that this movie had an impact on and why it pushed me to continue dancing. And we're going to just play with some makeup and discuss some things. So, if you want to chit chat, put on some makeup, tune into the next slide. Okay, I'm back. I have my brows on, carved. Let's prime our eyes and let's get started in our makeup. And I think today I'm going to be using my Life's a Drag palette for my eye look. I'm going to be recreating Jodie Sawyer's look, who is the main character of the story. I'm going to recreate the makeup she did in the first of the final dance scene, which we're going to discuss later in this video. So before we talk about the movie, I actually want to give you all a little backstory. So I actually used to dance for a very long time. I started when I was 5 at a dance school that was right down the block from me. Both my sisters went as well. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, all older than me. My 2 sisters went, and then when I was 5 years old, my mom decided to send me to dance school. I danced there all the way till I was about 24, 25, and I haven't danced for a few years now. But that's more on me and my self-confidence now. I kind of lost a little bit there from not dancing and just don't feel I'm fit enough, because I've definitely gained weight from not dancing. And I just kind of concentrated my life back on my work, back on work and makeup and where I was before. My personal opinion, I feel dance helped grow me to be the person that I am today. I classify myself as very introverted. When I was younger, it was just taken as I was just a shy person. But as I got older and grew, I now know I'm a very introverted person. I can consider myself highly sensitive on top of that. And I do have anxieties within me that are annoying, but it's just, that's how life is. Well, dance, because as much as I had all that shyness, I never felt like I was the same like everybody else when I was younger, since I was so quiet. My family's very talkative and outgoing people, and I was always the opposite of them. I was always felt that I was just weird, which now I kind of embrace my weirdness. But dance kind of helped me have that voice in a way. And I know that sounds confusing, but let me explain. Danced my whole life. I danced ballet, I danced tap, jazz, contemporary / modern, and I danced hip-hop for the majority of that time that I was in dance school. Dance was a way for me for someone being so quiet was my way to express everything. I got to be outside of myself in dance, especially when I was performing on stage, which I'll show some pictures here of that experience for me. So as this shy person when I was younger who didn't really talk much, I used dance as a way to like release all those emotions I had inside. I was my most outgoing self because I didn't have to talk and use my words. I could just express myself using my body movements. Dance helps a lot. Dance has even been proven to help with like confidence, self-discipline, teamwork. It encourages your creativity, your self-awareness, because like especially in teamwork and like self-awareness, most of the time you are dancing in groups when you're younger, so you have to be aware of your surroundings, where you are, how you are to other people. And as you dance in bigger groups as you grow older, you have to do like tricks, like you have to do formations in dances, and you always have to be aware where the other people are to you to make that formation work. So dance has been a great growing method in my opinion, for most people growing up from very young to old. That's why most dancers that you'll ever meet are very self-disciplined in that manner. They're very hardworking. They learn perseverance, determination all through their dance training. And it helps mold your personality as well. And along with dance, I've met many wonderful people that I've considered my family, and it was just such a great experience for me. And again, like, I didn't have a lot of confidence when I was younger, and dance definitely helped that confidence, helped me be my creative self, helped me express myself, where you kind of see that in my makeups now, because that's honestly where my makeup love came from, because I always had to wear makeup for all these stage performances. And character wise, which now you can see on TikTok if you follow me on TikTok, which will be right here, you'll see where that character comes out of me, because sometimes the most quietest people you'll ever know that kind of seem reserved are the craziest going on in here. But not crazy, just creatively crazy, I say, because I don't know, dance was just always a happy experience for me. And where center stage comes into play for my love for dance was the dance scenes that they had. They had beautiful dance scenes, again, with actual ballet dancers, but like academy trained ballet dancers for these scenes. They actually have a choreographed, in the final scenes of the movie, a choreographed full ballet piece by a man named Christopher Wheeldon. They recreated the Romeo Juliet Pas de Deux ballet. They recreated Swan Lake. They recreated Stars and Stripes ballet. And they even have, like, as most dance movies have, that fusion of ballet and hip-hop, jazz, or like ballet to different types of music that's not classical instruments in the final scene. And then they showed dance class scenes of throughout the movie, and it's just, it shows the lifestyle of a dancer. It shows the lifestyles, and that watching those dance scenes, I always wanted to replicate that in my life. Granted, I never had the best technique, but I always had, as they show in Jodie Sawyer, she didn't, in the main character in the movie, she didn't have the best technique, and she was drilled and drilled hard to like work on it. And it's like and they just kept telling her, like, you need to work harder, you're not good enough, and this and that. But like, she had the heart for it, and she really wanted it, and it was her soul, and how she like took her soul into her performances that made everything great. And that always inspired me to keep on dancing as well. So enough about me, let's get to this eyeshadow and let's actually talk about the movie. So like I said, the movie came out in 2000, this year making it the 20th anniversary for Center Stage. And the movie is about a group of young dancers from various backgrounds who enroll in a fictitious ballet academy called the American Ballet Academy in New York City. Now, this movie was actually the film debut for Zoe Saldana. You know, Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, from Avatar, from a plethora of other films. But that was her first movie that she got to be in. Sorry, I had to take a moment, had to figure out how I was doing this eye. We figured it out. We'll do the other eye now. We're going to talk about Center Stage now. The movie was actually directed by a man named Nicholas Hittner. Another famous thing that came out of that movie was Mandy Moore's song, I Wanna Be With You. That song pretty much kind of became the theme for the movie, because there's a huge story in the movie that involves Jodie Sawyer, Cooper Nielsen, and Charlie, I forget his last name right now, that there's like a love triangle. But the big part is that Jodie Sawyer and Cooper Nielsen are in I'm gonna put quote unquote a relationship in the movie, because we'll get to that. She became, the song I Wanna Be With You for Mandy Moore became it became her highest charting song in the US. I kind of want to discuss some things in the movie. As I said, they discussed the lifestyles of dancers at that time. So actually, as I said, that they hired many dancers for the movie. Actually, out of all the main characters, because there's a whole group of main characters, 5 of them are actually ones with ballet training. And that involves Amanda Schull, who plays Jodie Sawyer, Zoe Saldana, who has some ballet training, who plays Eva Rodriguez, Ethan Stiefel, who had many years danced in academies across the world, who plays Cooper Nielsen, Sasha Radetsky, who plays Charlie, Julie Kent, world-renowned ballerina, who plays Kathleen Donahue in the movie. The other stars that were in the main cast had other training in a sense. Ilya Kulik, who plays Sergei, is actually a world-renowned ice skater. The only 2 actors to not have had any training at all was Susan May Pratt, who played Maureen. And funny that because she actually plays the character that is the most perfect ballerina and has all the talent in the world in the movie and is considered perfect in the dance academy. And Shaquem Evans, who plays Eric in the movie. And he actually is the one that plays the only gay character out of the whole ballet cast. With Zoe Saldana having some ballet training, but she still couldn't, she didn't have professional, to the point where she could be on pointe shoes from what I was able to research on. They use body doubles to fill in the gaps of those scenes where they can't fully dance. Because for the most part, you see every actor dance from here up and you see their faces. But from a lot of the scenes, you can see when they're doing a shot from afar, you could tell it's a body double for some of them. But for the most part, even Zoe Saldana's body double, her name is Aisha Ash, beautiful dancer. And they actually do a lot from behind the scenes and make sure her hair is up in a bun. And they have the same body type and everything. Is crazy. But it fits perfectly for her. And I like that for this movie that they use ballet dancers, because for some movies that actually don't have dancers, Save the Last Dance, because Save the Last Dance is a great movie, but let's be honest, Julia Stiles is not the greatest, but we'll save that movie for another day. But for this, especially since it's a ballet movie about a ballet academy, I don't think you could have gotten away with not having actual ballet dancers to play those roles. Apart from the ballet scenes, you have our actual characters, and they play on a lot of the tropes of the dance world. And to start off, they actually, out of all the, like I said before, out of all the male dance characters, there's only one gay dancer in the whole group, which is played by Eric. And I guess it's trying to fix the trope that not all dancers are gay. Old as just because a man is involved in dance and is professionally trained in dance and loves dance doesn't mean that he has to be a gay man or make it he has to be a feminine man. That's not a thing. I'm sorry, that's not. You can whatever you want no matter what gender you are. That's not a thing. I know it was focusing more on Eva, Jodie, and Maureen the most out of all the characters, and focusing on the female characters. But for Eric, I feel he just played too much of the background support character for what he was. I feel they could have done more with his character, because all the other guys had more, I feel they had more screen time. I feel they could have done more and elaborate on Eric more. But as for the rest of the characters, Cooper Nielsen and, like I said, Charlie had a little love triangle with Jodie Sawyer. And even Sergey has, as he says in the movie, has a girlfriend back in the San Francisco Ballet Academy. Cooper also was our bad boy of the ballet world. He wore leather all the time. He rode a motorcycle. He was trying to be your bad boy of the movie that got all the girls. As they said, he would sleep with anything in tights. So he played that character in the movie. And Charlie was the good boy who came to New York, but his girlfriend just broke up with him because he decided to move to New York to pursue his dance career. But you know what? Let me talk about it now. Let me talk about that relationship between Cooper Nielsen and Jodie Sawyer. Now, Jodie Sawyer is pretty much the main character of the whole movie. And she is the one that, she's pretty much the underdog. All the teachers are on her to try to work harder. As hard as she works, it feels it's never enough. And she has that breakout moment in the final dance scene that she does her bazillion fouette turns, which are Now, when it comes to her relationship with Cooper Nielsen, first of all, when I was younger, I was oh, I didn't know any better. I was still in the dream world in my head. I was oh, she just really wanted to love him and this and that. Now watching it as an adult, Jodie, you're a little stalker girl and don't know any better. So Cooper, from the beginning, from the first time that Jodie gets to the school with her bags, he kind of just talks to her. You could see him eyeing her the whole time, and you know this. And Jodie, because Cooper Nielsen's such this big hotshot ballet star, she kind of falls all like giddy, like, oh my god, Cooper Nielsen, he's so amazing. They cross each other multiple times. He knows her by name because she had to introduce herself. So comes the day that Jodie Sawyer takes an outside dance class. Cooper happens to be in that same class. And then after the class is over, they decide to talk, chat it out, and he invites her out to have dessert because she already had dinner, as she said. On that first night, they're talking, she's venting about her struggles in dance class, and they're drinking wine, and they obviously end up in bed together for that one night. So they hang out this one night, they get in bed together this one night, and the scenes that follow come very cringy. Jodie starts playing like now they're in a relationship because of this one night. And Jodie, sweetie, that's not how that works. So then she kind of becomes stalkerish. She brings him bakery treats. At that point, they auditioned to be in the student showcase later on that year, and he gave Jodie the star role in his ballet. And so she gave him the treat, and even Kathleen, Julie Kent's part, like, oh, look, you have some crush that you put in your ballet. And she goes to one of his performances, which as like a surprise, and she goes backstage to see him as he's in the middle of the performance, and he's like, what are you doing here? And Kathleen, again, because they're in the same performance, she was like, that girl is one step away from getting your name tattooed on her body. You literally had one night together, and he didn't call you, he didn't talk to you. The time you guys only, at least according to the way the movie works and what they show you, is that they only hung out that one night. And from that one night in Jodie's head, that's her boyfriend. They're in a relationship. You're so gullible. Like, honey, be stronger than that. We don't do that. But it's even bad on Cooper's side, because I guess they never had that communication of what they were. She just assumed and just kept doing things as if you were in a relationship that would probably seem sweet. But in her instance, it became very stalker-like. Which is also, again, like I said, bad on Cooper, because obviously he knew what he was doing. Because this is what he normally does. Because even when that happened at the performance, Cooper left with another girl that night and not with Jodie. To, like, I guess, push Jodie out the way. That whole relationship, or not in quotation relationship, was a whole mess, whole miscommunication. They have a little fight during dance class, and even Charlie, being the good guy, even though he has a crush on Jodie. Oh, Charlie, sweet, sweet Charlie. He even says, listen, your boyfriend kind of sucks. Even though, like, they're not really boyfriend and girlfriend after one night. That's not how that works. Those things that you see in movies, and like, when I watched that at 8 years old, I didn't think of it the way I did now. I was like, oh, well, Cooper's a shitty guy. Like, that's not how could he break Jodie's heart like that? Like, they were together and da-da-da. Watching that now as an adult with experience. No, honey, you're both wrong. Or Jodie was really that gullible and has never dealt with men in her life that she kind of fell for that, thinking that, and fell in the Disney princess trope of like, oh, I fell in love in one day and we're together forever. No. That's not what happens, honey. Now, as an adult, just kind of really it just really got under my skin. Because in the end, after the main dance scene, the final, like, hurrah dance scene, and they're all figuring out if they got into the academy and what jobs they're gonna do after this, and then, like, Cooper tries to kiss her, like, they're gonna be together now, because now she's gonna go work for his company and dance for his company that he's opening up. And Jodie stops him and is like, listen, Cooper, you're an amazing dancer, but as a boyfriend, you pretty much suck at it. And then she just walks away and runs to, like, Charlie, and Cooper just, like, shrugs up, like, all right. Like, that just shows right there, Cooper did not give a single And Jodie goes to Charlie at that point and asks him out, and Charlie pretty much becomes just like a second option, like, well, that didn't work out over there and I was stupid for that one and I want you now. And obviously Charlie just goes for it because it's movies, so everyone just runs for it. Again, it's a great dance movie. The writing is not that great. As dancers are athletes, and sometimes you have to work on your body just like any athlete. You have to make sure you eat what you got, eat the right things, keep your body in check. You gotta keep working out to keep your strength up. There's this character, Emily, which she was dancing in the academy for a few years because she knows most of the dancers and seems like she's been there for a while. From the get, Maureen and her mom make fun of Emily, saying she's gained weight this year. And they kind of like laugh at this and make fun of her for it. Not to her face though, all behind her back. Oh, and they keep playing on this idea for Emily's character that even the teachers were like, hey, maybe you should see a nutritionist. Hey, like, you really need to take like you gotta take pride in your body. And all those hints that she's gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight reaches the point where, because of her gaining weight, she gets kicked out of the academy. And her mother is furious, as she should be. Like, I had to look into this. I did some research on this because I was like, can you really be kicked out of an academy like that just because you're gaining weight? Yes, I know how sometimes weight can affect like your joints and like it can affect your body, but to the point of like, if your dance skills and your technique is still like up there, why should your weight be a factor in that? In many articles, it does show in the ballet world that it is common to be asked to lengthen, because they can't tell you we need you to lose weight. They're not going to say it to you for a lot of legal reasons, because I'm sure that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. It is common for a ballet teacher to ask you in a nice way for you to lengthen your body so you can have that classical like ballet line. For many years, dancers pay attention to their size because, say they're in a corps, and what a corps is like that group of ballet dancers that performs all together all the time. And most of the time in a corps, they'll rotate costumes. Most ballet companies don't want to spend the money to actually tailor to every single person. So that's usually why I guess it's stayed a trope of like everyone needs to be the same size, like the little slim figure. But also a lot of ballet dancers are that slim because they are constantly doing cardio work for multiple hours in the daytime. Dancers actually eat quite a lot. And it's funny that in this movie, they obviously don't show that to you. And even like the character of Maureen has an eating disorder, but that's based on something else. For Emily to be kicked out for her weight brings up the issue that a lot of ballet academies in the past, maybe some still now, are very like hard and like rough when it comes to like, you have to be this way, you need to be this body type and this and that. Granted, Misty Copeland has kind of helped in changing that idea of that. Thank you. I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. We can discuss Maureen now. Maureen is the kind of prude, snotty, nose up in the air, like perfect ballet dancer in the academy. She's trained there her whole life, been there since she was a kid. Her mom works in the studio. Her mom used to dance herself, but just wasn't right. And because of this, Maureen's mom conditioned her to just focus on ballet and ballet alone. She worked hard as a kid. She doesn't make many friends because her whole life has been ballet, ballet, ballet. She doesn't go out. She doesn't do much. It shows that Maureen has pretty much been closeted her whole life. She develops an eating disorder because the stress of being this perfect dancer with perfect feet and perfect technique and just has to be perfect is getting to her. In the movie, she starts experiencing like outside the ballet world. She meets this guy, she starts kind of dating him, and even on the first date, he takes her bowling and they eat pizza, and she's very like cautious in eating the pizza. To her mind, I'm a ballet dancer. That's not what I'm supposed to eat. I'm not supposed to eat this pizza. But she eats it because she's on this date with this guy and she seems to really like him, enjoying being out with his friends, pretty much being put through this whole new experience that she's never like had. It's kind of taking her for a loop. That was like, oh, I never experienced it before, but I kind of like it. Now at this part, she wants both worlds. She wants to be this top ballet dancer, but she wants to also experience life as a normal person as well. So it reaches a point that it's so bad, conditioning and her eating disorder, and Eric at some point towards the end of the movie injures himself, and Maureen saw this, and obviously he can't dance for the showcase. Maureen goes to her boyfriend, asks him, what about me did you like? Is about me being a dancer, or is it really about me being as a person? And he's confused by this, and she says, I watched Eric injure himself today, and you know what my first thought was how I wished it was me. And that's not a normal reaction to have, especially if you love dance and you watch someone injure themselves and you kind of wish it was you, so it will kind of force you to stop dancing. That's not a good sign for you. At the end, because Maureen got the main part in the director of the ballet's company showcase, in his ballet. In the final scene, she decides to switch and she makes Eva, Zoe Saldana's part, take her spot instead. And then her mom comes out and freaks out, and this is where you really notice the conditioning that her mom had. So Maureen is explaining to her mom, after her mom freaks out, is like, why is Maureen not on that stage? And Maureen's trying to explain it to her mom, and her mom's like, why are you doing this? You're a great dancer. You worked so hard for this. Why now? Why are you doing this now? Explains to her mom how she's not happy. This is the worst part of it. She says to her mom that if I was happy, why am I throwing up everything that I eat? And her mom's response is not like, oh my god, you have an eating disorder, oh my god, why are you not eating, or why are you throwing up everything you eat? Her mom's quick response was, so you watch your weight, what's wrong with that? And she just kind of tells her mom off. Yes, that was hard, because she pretty much just told off obviously for her mom, but someone who has literally conditioned and groomed her entire life to know nothing else. Because in the end, her mom used to dance and wanted to live the life of being a dancer, but her mom didn't have the feet or the technique to keep going with it. How Maureen says, she's like, you didn't have the feet, I don't have the heart to dance. And that's how that ended. It shows like kind of one of those rare stories you kind of see is like, just because you're good at something, if your heart's not in it, it doesn't make it feel as great. Like, you get me? Off of serious topics, let's talk about the dance scenes. So let's talk about the lovely movie magic of these dance scenes. Specifically, Cooper Nielsen's ballet at the end. Me being in many dance shows, I understand costume changes. Makeup changes is a whole different subject. You have to be very quick to change your makeup. If you have a makeup change, there's going to be buffer time put into the show so you can change your makeup. However, this final scene of Jodie's makeup changes are literally would be impossible based on how they show the ballet is told. So it starts off with everyone in tutus, and she's wearing her black lipstick, the look that I'm trying to put on right, black lipstick, red lipstick, which goes from this look to a cut scene, which is impossible unless she just took a makeup wipe in the process of her riding that motorcycle to the next scene where she has no makeup, and she has makeup on again to be in a dance class scene on stage with a bun. Then she's in every single dance scene. So it's literally back-to-back dances. So there's no time for a makeup change. With the makeup that they have on her, there's no way. No way. You can't go from makeup, no makeup, makeup, no makeup again for her to be all crying, her hair in a headband, and to have full-on smoky eye, red lipstick, full twist spine, magical hair. Sorry, that's impossible. Unless there's time in between each dance. But even so, there's not enough time. Maybe hair changes, yes, hair changes can be done in that time with help backstage. But makeup, no makeup, makeup, no makeup, full makeup. I'm sorry, that's not possible. That end dance scene is the reason I kept dancing for my life. And it's so fun. Like, even at my dance school, we recreated the final one, her in the red outfit. It's just so iconic, and just, oh, the red point shoes. So I always wish when I was younger that I worked harder. Well, now that I'm older, I wish I worked harder to be able to wear those red point shoes. I had point shoes once, and it was a struggle for me. I tried. It was just, point shoes are really hard. Dancers are athletes for a reason, and point shoes are really, really hard. You gotta really work your feet in. And again, for me, I didn't have that full, like, overarch point. So point shoes were even harder for me to work with. If you love something so much, don't be scared of it and just kind of just like rub it off. Doing it for a reason. You're doing what you love for a reason. So keep at it. Don't think about what others are gonna think about you while doing it. Keep doing what you love. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I'm gonna leave it on the message of this, like, keep doing what you love. Don't care what anyone else thinks. If it makes you happy, do it. At the end of the day, you're stuck with you and your own feelings. And if you feel unhappy trying to make other people happy, you're not gonna get far in life. You have to, at the end of the day, focus on you and focus what's gonna make you feel fulfilled in life. Don't push yourself away from it either. Do what you love and don't feel scared about it. Okay, so I smoked out my lower lash line, added white liner inside my waterline, and I added lashes. These lashes are from LVNDR Beautique, and the style I'm wearing is style Vonisha. Popped on a red lip. This one is from Fenty Beauty. The color is Uncensored. I set my makeup with my Ben Nye Final Seal. This is the greatest setting spray for any stage performer. Like, if you are a sweaty person on that stage with those lights, I know I am, this will be your lifesaver to keep your makeup on the whole performance and then some. Has kind of strong smell of alcohol. If you have sensitive skin, approach it with caution, but stage performers, this will keep your makeup on through anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and our talk today about center stage and the world of dance. If there's anything I missed or anything you want to comment on about the movie Center Stage, or let me know what you enjoyed about the movie, let me know in the comments below. Let me know any other suggestions of movies or TV shows you'd like to see in upcoming videos as well. All the makeup I use will be linked in the description box below, along with some very important other links about our world that we should learn and take notice and help take care of today. As always, be kind to others. Love yourself, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.